Sup guys, Zero here, and welcome back to Doki Blue Skies. So, in the last episode, we basically kind of did like the same whole DDLC starting scene, you know, we were walking to school with Sayori, we tried to join a club, stuff like that. Except it was a little different this time. This time, like, we were actually asked about, with a book and stuff, what books we like. I actually asked Natsuki what book she recommended and shit like that, so that was actually kind of cool. She learned about us liking manga on the first day instead of this first day, I guess. And we wrote a poem last episode for Natsuki. And I mean, at least I hope we picked Natsuki. I mean, I know I was messing with some Sayori words. I'm pretty sure I have mostly Natsuki, so we should be fine. But yeah, let's go and see what happens. Okay, so really also Monika's face is a little different as we saw. I don't know, I'm kind of getting used to it. Still kind of weirds me out sometimes, but I guess I'm getting used to it a bit. Hi again, Zero. Glad to see you didn't run away on us. Hey, I enjoyed myself the last time. Well, when I come back. Also, it seems like our MC has a different personality now. He's not as, like, snarky. He's not as snarky and sarcastic. He's actually, like, a decent, like, well-up gentleman. Decent fellow. Well, back at the literature club. Sarah and I were the last to come in, so everyone else is already hanging out. Oh, glad to see you here again, Zero. I hope this isn't too overwhelming of a commitment for you. Making you dive headfirst into literature when you're not accustomed to it. Oh, come on, like he deserves any slack. I bet this is the first extracurricular you've done since high school started. I don't know if you plan to just come here and hang out or what. But if you don't take us seriously, you won't see the end of it. Natsuki, you certainly have a big mouth for someone who keeps her manga collection in the club room. Natsuki finds herself stuck between saying Monika and manga. Manga is literature! Socially defeated, Natsuki pops back into her seat. Yeah, I didn't yell that because I don't feel like yelling. Don't worry, guys. Zero always gives it his best as long as he's having fun. He's always been there when I need it. When we were kids, he'd always be around to help me with stuff. Oh, you two are childhood friends? I glanced at Sayori. Despite her cheery recollection of our childhood memories just then, Yuri's question is a reminder that we haven't spent much time together in a long time. It's a tad awkward. Yeah, we've known each other for a while, haven't we? We smile at each other, hoping we can use the club to reconnect. Such a history with one another. I imagine you've shared much together. You could say that. Do you believe Sayori is still as clumsy now as she was 10 years ago? Hey, meanie. That's not true. Oh, need I tell Yuri about the time you tried to cook lunch and almost set the house on fire? Her face turns pink as she rushes to interrupt me. Anyway, I'm sure you two could just be just as good friends. After all, you're both in literature club now. Yeah, looking forward to it. Yuri looks hopeful at hearing this, although I can't help but wonder. Given the maturity and intelligence she carries so elegantly, and how her passion for reading is much stronger than my own, would it be as easy as Sayori thinks it is? Still, it's worth a try at least. Yay! Oh, Yuri even brought you something today, you know? Wait, Sayori? Yeah, me? It's not much, really. Don't be shy. It's really nothing. Whatever it is, I'm sure I'll like it. What is it, Yuri? Never mind. Sayori made it sound like a big deal when it's really not. Oh, what do I do? I'm sorry, Yuri, I wasn't thinking. I guess that means it's up to me to rescue the situation. Hey, don't worry about it. First of all, I wasn't expecting anything in the first place. So any nice gesture from you is a pleasant surprise. It'll make me happy no matter what. Is that so? Yeah, I won't make it a big deal if you don't want it to be. Alright. Well, here. Yuri reaches into her bag and pulls out a book. I didn't want you to feel left out, so I picked out a book that I thought you might enjoy. It's a short read, so it should keep your attention, even if you don't usually read. What do you mean left out? I just picked out manga with Natsuki. I'm not left out. I don't need your books, Yuri. Even though I guess technically she's still giving me a book. I gotta be nice. It's still nice that she gave me a book, though. And we could, you know, discuss it if you wanted. How is this girl accidentally being so cute? She even picked out a book she thinks I might possibly like, despite me not reading much. Yuri, I'm probably cut off by Natsuki. You didn't even want him you didn't want him to feel left out? What's that supposed to mean? Are you trying to say he doesn't like my books or something? That's what I just pointed out. I was like, Natsuki just gave us a book. Because that's just not true. He freaking loves manga, just like me, right, Zero? Yeah, I mean, I can't say that, right? It looks like another Yuri and Natsuki arguments cropping up again. Glimpsed our Yuri to find a variety of different emotions running over her face. She's conflicted between standing up for herself and backing down to keep the peace. After a beat, she opens her mouth to speak, her resolve straightened. Natsuki, that's not what I meant to say at all. I was simply referring to the fact that Zero may not have as much of a literature collection himself, given that he has said that he is not a reader. Giving him a book in a totally different genre would benefit him in broadening his knowledge of the literary world. Yuri suddenly appears to notice that all eyes are on her. I apologize if I worded that harshly. No, that was actually nice. I think that's actually a really nice way of putting it. No, you're fine, Yuri. Well, I definitely do love manga, and I think that it'd do me well to read different things too once in a while. Seeming to sense that she can't win the argument, Natsuki almost visibly backs down. Her outspoken nature really does make up for her physically small stature. Whatever. Natsuki? Guys, let's just stop fighting. Everyone has their own super good taste in literature, so we shouldn't keep arguing over it. I'm sure that I'll enjoy everyone's recommendations equally as much. After all, you guys are all smart, and definitely more experienced in literature than me. I'm just gonna say that I wasn't trying to attack you or whatever. It's just that there are a lot of people who judge manga without even trying to read it themselves. So, yeah. I guess that's the closest we'll get to an apology from Natsuki. And with that, the tension in the room slowly dissipates. It feels as though everyone in the room was holding in their breath until now. Yuri quietly hands me the copy of the book she's holding. Well, thanks, Yuri. You're welcome. You should read it at your own pace. I look forward to hearing what you think. After a brief pause, the girls move on to their own things. Man, I seem to be the harbinger of awkwardness when it comes to Natsuki and Yuri. Now that everyone's settled in, I expected Monika to kick off some scheduled activities for the club. That doesn't seem to be the case. So Yuri and Monika are having a cheery conversation in the corner. Yuri's face is already buried in a book, and I can't help but notice her intense expression, like she was waiting for this chance. Meanwhile, Natsuki's rummaging around in the closet. And we're gonna go to the closet, aren't we? Yeah! Ugh! I hear a sigh from the closet, presumably Natsuki. Sounds like she's annoyed by something. I approach her, curious. Hey, something wrong? Freaking Monika. She moved my stuff again. I spent all this time organizing my collection, and she comes in and ruins it. As she complains, Natsuki carefully slides boxes and stacks of books across the shelf. Once they're in orderly fashion, she turns around to face me. Do you have my manga? Oh, yeah, here, let me get it. I quickly retrieved the book Natsuki lent to me yesterday and handed it to her. Ooh, see, this is different from day one, because this time we have the manga. The first day instead of the second day. Ooh. She examines the cover and the pages, looking for any sort of damage. After finding nothing, she slides the novel to its rightful place in one of the boxes. Told you to take care of my manga. Yeah, don't let it get to your head. You still need to pass the quiz before we can start the next one. Oh, crap. Do I have to actually take a quiz? You were serious? What, you thought I was joking? Here at the Literature Club, we take reading very seriously. Now sit down and get ready. Alright. I sit down at a desk while Natsuki sits parallel from me. Alright, first question. Which girl ends up falling down the stairs in Chapter 7? I didn't really get that far. The expression that comes from Natsuki's face honestly scares me a little. What? How did you not finish? The first volume is, like, the shortest one out of all of them. I'm sorry. I was working on my poem for most of the night, so I didn't have time to read it. Natsuki's expression changes from that of anger to disbelief. Your poem? Yeah, I put some effort into it. Natsuki eyeballs me suspiciously before sighing. Fine. I guess we can read it here. Yay, we get to read together! But your poem better be really good. Yeah. I have a little experience of writing in general, much less poems, so I fear that Natsuki will only get angrier with me once she sees my lackluster writing abilities. But that's a problem, we'll deal with later. Alright, now I have to finish Volume 1 of Parfait Girls. Natsuki heads to the closet to retrieve the novel once again. She comes back, manga in hand, and points to the floor. We're gonna sit there. What? Why? Because it's a lot easier than trying to read in chairs. That doesn't really make any sense. Just do it, okay? No need to argue over every little thing. I wasn't arguing. I stopped myself short when I realized I'm probably just gonna get on Natsuki's nerves. If possible, I'd like to try and avoid making her angry. I mean, alright. Yay! See, now we're reading with Natsuki. See, this is all I wanted in the first episode. I sit down next to Natsuki as she hands me the novel. I flip open to the part where I left off, but Natsuki speaks up before I can begin. You only got that far? Well, I may have watched some anime last night too. Natsuki furrows her eyebrows at me. I quickly start reading as to avoid another scolding. Still, does this have, like, an overarching plot of some sort? Of course it does, dummy. What, you think I don't have good taste? I have standards, you know. Hey, I never said I didn't think you had good taste. It's just... nothing has really happened yet. It's just a one-off side story so far. Well, that's just to help you get to know the characters. Like the chapter where they're at the like the chapter where they're at the shopping mall, it gives you the better idea of what each of the girls like and don't like. There's an overarching plot, but the first volume is more like an introduction to the characters. I've read the entire series, so I know what happens. So I do know what happens. Alright, guess I'll take your word on it. You sure do like this series, don't you? Yeah, it's one of my favorites. I can see why. It does have a lot of baking in it. It does, yeah. Coincidence? Don't get the wrong idea. I didn't start baking just because of the manga. Don't worry, I believe you. Not. Well, I guess that at least explains Natsuki's interest in baking. She is really good at it, though. So it's not like it's a bad thing. I'll continue reading for a while before I reach the end of the novel. As I close the book, Natsuki snatches it from my hands and heads for the closet. She places the novel in its rightful spot and digs around for the second volume. Oh shit. Really? Reading another one? That was a short reading session. So, did you enjoy it? Yeah, I did actually. It's a bit slow right now, but if what you say is true, I'll start getting good in the second volume. Speaking of which, Natsuki probably holds up the second volume. Let's get started. Wait, already? Okay, everyone. It's time to share poems. If that isn't good timing, I don't know what is. Seriously? We were just about to start the second one. Well, you can always read it tomorrow, can't you? Oh my god, Monika! Your face has been fixed! Monika, you're back! Fine. Natsuki, defeated, puts her manga back in the closet and retrieves her poem. Aw, it's okay, Natsuki, we'll read more tomorrow. I grab mine from my bag as well. Oh no, her face is no, I can't speak. I'm so in shock. Monika, no. Your neck is broken again. Your face is broken again. By the way, did you remember to write a poem last night? Yeah. I can't help but feel a little nervous. I have to admit that I'm excited. I'm eager to share my poem. After all, I'm trying to make an effort for the girls here, and I thought I worked hard on it. Found inspiration from all the girls. Just the energy alone was enough to get my creative juices flowing. Well, now that everyone's ready, why don't you find someone to share with? I can't wait! Sayori and Monika enthusiastically pull out their poems. Sayori is on a wrinkled sheet of loose leaf torn from a spiral notebook. On the other hand, Monika wrote hers in a composition notebook. Ooh! I always noticed that, how everyone kind of has it, how Sayori's is just ripped out of a fucking notebook, while Monika's is actually written in a notebook. Like, Sayori just has a piece of paper. Like, I always realized that. Like, Sayori just rips it out like everyone else, but Monika over here, being fancy, Monika keeps hers in her notebook. I can already see Monika's pristine handwriting from where I sit. We actually don't get what Natsuki and Yuri do with theirs. They rip theirs out too? Reluctantly comply as well, reaching in their bags. I do the same myself. Who should I show poem to first? Well, I mean, Natsuki is the one we were trying to impress with our poem, so I told Natsuki I was interested in her poems yesterday. I do like that there's also, the funny thing is I like how this game, because it's not just the mod, the game itself. I like how whoever on who you pick first, your character tries to give a reason on why he picked them first. Like he's like, well, Monika's the president of the literature club, or like, Sayori is my best friend, so I feel more comfortable sharing with her first. So it's like, I like how there's logic between picking everyone first. It's probably only fair if I shared mine with her first. Earth to Natsuki. What? Hey, don't make it seem like I'm spacing out. Just... Okay, let's start with what I don't like. First of all, Natsuki rereads the poem again. Actually, never mind. I don't feel like giving you my opinion. Then what's the point in sharing at all? Don't literature clubs, like, share constructive criticism or something? No, it's just... Natsuki fails to come back with a follow-up. She's obviously uncomfortable about something. But from what I've seen, it's certainly not giving out criticism. Hey, this is my first time sharing my poems too. It's a bit uncomforting for all of us, yeah, but we should still try and help each other. It's not that. I'd feel more comfortable if your poem was really bad. I could be like, not that bad, but here's what the work of a real poet looks like. But, oh, I understand what she means now. She's uncomfortable because she liked my poem and doesn't know how to compliment me. I get what you mean. Natsuki looks relieved at my statement. Can I see your poem now? Fine. Only because Monika's gonna make me either way. So is it? Oh, it's different! Oh yeah, the thing did say different poems. Looks like we have to read these now, fuck! Sometimes. Some folks are winners, some only lose. Some are go-getters, some only cruise. Sometimes we try hard and give it our all. Sometimes we give up. What else can we do? Like, if that is kind of like people can fly, it's kind of like equals can fly, huh? Told you hate it. Actually, I like it. What? Don't just say it's good because I'm a girl. What? Be honest. What? No, it has nothing to do with you being a girl. I genuinely like the poem. Really? Yeah, simple but still pretty effective. Finally, someone who gets it. People in high school think poetry has to be so formal and vague. But they don't realize that simple writing is just as effective, if not more. The reader shouldn't have to search for the meaning. That's just stupid. Besides, the simpler the writing, the more emphasis on wordplay. Like how I made most of the lines start with some. Yeah, I noticed that. Made the last couplet seem more powerful. Yes, that's exactly what I was going for. Well, good job then. Didn't expect that from the youngest of the club, did ya? Yeah, I guess not. Alright, let's go with Sayori. I'm going down my best girl list. You said this is your first poem, right? Yeah, why? It impressed me. Especially for your first poem. Maybe this really is the place for you. Oh, come on, it's not that good. What the hell? I accidentally like right-clicked and left-clicked at the same time. I mean, it's not like I'm used to writing poems or anything. But thanks, I guess. Don't be so hard on yourself, Zero. Everyone has to start from somewhere. You're already off to a good start. Anyway, I guess I can show you mine now. Don't expect too much, though. I'm not very good at this. Only one way to find out. Alright, what's yours? Dear Sunshine, the way you... Oh, wait, this is the same one! But I'm not bad. Yeah, I want breakfast. This is the same one. Aw. I mean, it's the best one. I want breakfast. I mean, it's not my favorite poem, but it's a good one. It's honorable mention. It's in my top 5 best poems. Well, what'd you think? I hesitate as I answer. It's not that it was a bad poem. In fact, it was great. I'm just really inexperienced with poetry, especially feedback. It's really you. What's that supposed to mean? As in, the poem just really reminds me of you. It made me feel really good inside. Really? Yeah, I had no idea what to expect, as this is my first time reading your poetry. But the way it was written, I don't know. It feels really wholesome and cheery. Like you are. I also really like the last line. Trust you of all people to include breakfast in their poems. Hey, I was eating when I wrote... Sarah stopped speaking immediately as if she accidentally let something slip. Oh, so you wrote the poem this morning. No? Well, maybe. I forgot to write it last night. Well, at least we know where your inspiration comes from. Eggs and toast! Well, I suppose if it sounds silly but it works, then it isn't silly. Either way, thanks for showing me your poem, Sayori. It was really good. I'm happy you think so. Anyway, next time, I won't forget. Tomorrow's poem will be even better. I'll hold you to that. Aw, Sayori, you're so cute. Let's go to Monika. Sorry. But now you all know my best girl list. Yuri's at the bottom. I'm sorry. I don't hate Yuri. Just compared to the rest of them, she's the one I like the least. Hi, Zero. Hope you've been enjoying your time here. Yeah, definitely. I probably sound like a broken record by now, but everyone's been really welcoming. Well, a broken record isn't so bad when it plays something so nice. I guess so. Anyway, since you're new and everything, feel free to bring up any questions or concerns you might have. It's my duty as president to make sure that everything is perfect. I'd have to say that you've been doing a good job of that already. I doubt that I'll ever have anything to complain about. Either way, I'm always open to new suggestions for the club as well. So don't be afraid to bring things up, okay? Alright, I'll keep that in mind. She says that, but it's gonna be a bit intimidating to try to criticize Monika of all people. I really don't think that there's going to be anything I'll need to speak up about either. One of the other girls would probably say something before I ever needed to. Natsuki definitely would. Now that that's out the way, feel like sharing your poem with me? I mean, I don't really have a choice in the matter, do I? You should be thinking like that. You shouldn't be thinking like that. Yeah, I was just joking. Kinda. It's alright, Zero. I get that it's probably really awkward for you to share a creative work when you're just a beginner. Especially since the rest of us have a bit more experience than you do. That's an understatement. Don't worry though, we're all a little embarrassed today, you know? I don't think many people out there share their poetry on a regular basis. But it's the sort of thing that you get used to pretty quickly once you get it over with. Yeah, that's true. I had my poem over with a sigh. Don't grade me too harshly. You'll be fine. I watch nervously as she quickly scans through my poem. Mm-hmm. It's a nice poem, Zero. Huh? You think? Mm-hmm. Although, I'd have to say that it's a lot cuter than something I would have expected out of you. Is that bad? No, of course not. It's just something I would have thought Natsuki would write, for instance. She's a good writer, so you should take that as a compliment. I see. I don't know. I guess I was in a cutesy sort of mood or something. So you have a cute side as well? Well, That's not what I was trying to say. I meant that I was thinking about more cheery stuff. Or something. I get it. But still, have you ever read anything about Shel Silverstein? I think it's Steen or Stein. I think it's Shel Silverstein? Steen? I think it's Silverstein. He sounds familiar. Maybe when I was a kid? Maybe my mom used to take me to the library when I was little, so... Well, he wrote a lot for children, so I wouldn't be surprised if he did. He's famous for using simple words and conversation tones to tell all sorts of stories. His poems are a variety of different lengths and cover a range of different emotions. They could be funny, endearing, sad. Even though most people think of him as a children's author and poet, many of his works express a universal views of the world. And he actually wrote some black comedy as well. So you could say that he was pretty good at subverting expectations. Interesting. So is Natsuki kind of like that then? You could say that. She's not quite the Renaissance man that Silverstein is. But you probably won't find much filler in her poems. They may seem easy enough to read through on the surface, but they can pack a lot of meaning in very few words. I see. It's definitely a type of poem that's fun to explore. Yeah, sure I'll end up doing a lot of different things before I settle on my own style. And it'll still take a little while before I'm completely comfortable sharing my writing. That's perfectly fine. In fact, I'd probably be more surprised if you immediately started writing with your own style. Most people go through the same process that you're going through right now. Trying new things is the best way to find the kind of style that suits you, after all. Anyway, when you talk to everyone about it, naturally they'll be a bit biased towards their own kinds of styles. After all, I know I am. But don't force yourself to write in some way just because someone else wants you to. You should try to focus on what you want to do. Feel free to ask me for help anytime, though. I try to be as objective as possible when I talk to people about these topics. Thanks, I'll keep that in mind. Anyway, do you want to read my poem now? Don't worry, I'm not very good. You sound pretty confident for someone who claims to be not very good. Well, that's because I have to sound confident. That doesn't mean I always feel that way, you know? Always on duty as club president, eh? Well, let's get to the reading then. The box. Is this different? I think this is different. I don't remember the box. The box. I see, but I don't believe. A lone fingerprint glistening on gleaming glass. Was it me? Was I always the one in the dark? I pound on the glass. My prison. Why? Why me? The pain jolts me back. The understanding pouring down like heavy rain. It's all a farce. My heart's on display. My life's but a script just playing away. The world out there had seemed so bright. It was so free. So many choices. So much potential. Maybe I could have had a chance. I realize now there was never a choice. I was stuck in this box. And they on the other side chose for me. Well, that's clearly still meta. And that's about us. And that's about us and her being stuck in the game. So, what do you think? I don't quite know how to say it. Sorry, I'm not really the right person to ask for feedback. It's okay. I definitely get to a certain kind of feeling from reading your poem. But I'm not sure how to put it into words. I can understand that. Just try to articulate it however you want. You can use metaphors outside of poetry, you know. Well, when you put it like that, I don't know. It's either your poem is kind of abstract? Very vague, at least. Like, I can't quite tell what exactly you're talking about, but even so, I can feel what the speaker's feeling. Yeah, I think that describes my poem pretty well. Eh? Really? I do like my metaphors. Well, you'd probably be hard-pressed to find a poem without a metaphor, actually. Yeah, they're pretty well covered in English class, at least. The ability to convey emotions and concepts through words, describing things even the writer might never have experienced before. I find that really powerful. When you write metaphorically, it allows the reader to focus on the emotions in the poem. I guess it kind of opens it up for the reader to have their own interpretations. Exactly. It's fascinating when people can diverge from the creator's original intent to find their own meaning in a work of art. Yeah. What was your original intent then? I think it'd be more fun if you tried to figure it out yourself. Eh? That just makes me more curious now. Maybe I'll tell you one day. But for now, here's Monika's writing tip of the day. Sometimes when you're writing a poem, or anything, for that matter, you get too fixated on a specific point. Yeah, alright, you already said this before. Yeah, but if you try so hard to make it perfect, then you'll never make any progress. So the best thing to do is just force yourself to get something down on the paper and then tidy it up later. Another way to think about it is this. If you keep your pen in the same spot for too long, you'll just get a big dark puddle of ink. So just move your hand and write wherever it's in your heart. Write your way into their heart. Easier said than done. I get what you're trying to say, though. It's better to look back on your own work with fresh eyes after you've gotten something down sometimes. That's my advice for today. Thanks for listening. Alright, and Yuri is the final one. Also, Monika, I think, talked the most out of all these characters when you show her poem. I think Monika talks the most. Like, my gosh. I guess it makes sense. She's the club president. Yuri stares at the poem. A minute passes. More than enough time for her to finish reading. Is everything okay? Oh, goodness, sorry. I know what I want to convey, but I need to find the right words. I understand. Take your time. Okay, I think I know what to say. Do you have any prior writing experience? To be honest, not really. Is it that obvious? I don't mean to be rude, but I guess that it might be after reading through it. Ah, so it's that bad. No! Did I just raise my voice? Oh, sorry, so went, no! I'm so sorry. Yuri buries her face in her hands. I couldn't help but notice that it's been several minutes and we really haven't gotten anywhere. Yuri seems to be incredibly introverted. It might take her a long time to warm up to new people. Don't worry about it. We'll start somewhere, right? What were you saying? Right, I've just noticed a few qualities consistent with newer writers that showed up just in your poem. Perhaps what stands out the most is that you've tried very hard to make the structure of this poem your own. And that's okay, but if this is the first poem you've written, it might be prudent to consider more traditional structures, couplets, sonnets, haiku, and the like. If you're not confident in your writing style, it'll show in your piece. It's like Yuri's a totally different person when she gets going. She sounds incredibly confident, stands tall, speaking clearly. I don't think I read those clearly or confident at all. I did not portray that very well. Again, that's not your fault. I think that once you've studied poetic structures and techniques a bit more, you'll be able to put together a truly wonderful composition. I appreciate the feedback, Yuri. Sounds like you're well versed in this sort of thing. Would it be okay if I take a look at what you've written? Oh goodness, of course! Please let me know what you think. I'd be thrilled to explain my process. Yuri smiles dreamily as if that's a rare opportunity for her. Okay, I'm hoping this is not a new poem, because I cannot read Yuri's handwriting for shit. So, hopefully this is the same one. Just thought it was kind of funny. After all, isn't this supposed to be a literature club? Oh fuck, it's new! Oh no! Oh god, I can't read this! It's so hard! Tumble. Hail falls down like discarded dust. Okay, I'm not using Yuri's voice for this. I have to read it. Of overused emotions. Dragging down blankets made of... made of want? Oh god, what is that word? What is the second word? I can't read this. Look, I'm gonna let you guys read it. I cannot read this. Fuck. I can't read Yuri's handwriting. Oh god. I'm so sorry. Hopefully you guys read that. Pause the video if you need to. I cannot read Yuri's handwriting for shit. This is why I hate fucking cursive. Like, I don't know, it's like, I can read cursive, but her cursive is, like, weird. I'm so sorry if my writing's a bit chaotic. It is! Once my pen touches the page, I just want to get my thoughts down. It's fine, Yuri. I was able to read it just fine. Yeah, sure I was. I wasn't thinking that at all. Yeah, of course I wasn't. Are you sure? It seemed like it took you a while to read it. No! No, it didn't. Well, I guess I don't have to see cursive that often. But it's really nice when I do. Your writing's actually quite pretty. It is pretty, it's just hard to read. Is that so? I'm glad you think so. This is hard to read for me. I don't know, I'm dumb, alright? It made your poem stand out even more, as well. It's as though your handwriting fits your word choice or vice versa. It wasn't too short, was it? I'm used to writing longer pieces, but since this is my first time we're sharing, I thought it would be easier to share. That makes sense. Do you mind telling me what it's about, though? I sure understand. So sorry, did I mean to write something confusing? No, it's not that. I just want to be sure I'm reading it properly. I see. I suppose from a cursory glance, it might not be obvious.
But part of what makes poetry magical is how you can conjure up a vivid image with your words. Well, on the surface, it might seem a bit out there. If you look a little deeper, you might be able to find a deeper meaning hidden amongst the lines, compounded by the metaphors used. For example, the words and images in this poem aren't meant to be taken at face value. And actually, it's supposed to represent the last remnants of something lost to past, in the sense of plantative longing that comes with it. Huh, that's pretty impressive when you put it that way. Oh, I wouldn't go that far. But thanks for the compliment. Hopefully during your time here, your understanding of poetry will grow, and these things will come to you naturally.
I'll do my best. Thank you for sharing with me, Yuri.
Of course.
Something's in my eye! Ah! God! Trying to read that with something's in my eye was a pain in my ass. Ah! It's like a frickin' eyelash. Jesus. Jesus, help! I'm under attack! Ah! Okay. Alright, I'm fine now. Don't worry, guys. Phew. Oh god, we reached 30 minutes. Alright, we'll make this a 35-minute episode. We'll see what happens in 5 more minutes. I want to at least finish this day. Guess that's everyone. That's around the room. That was surprisingly fun. A bit stressful. I already knew that I wouldn't be able to write to the quality of the girls, but I tried my best. These girls are incredibly talented. I sigh. Across the room, Sarah and Monika are happily chatting. My eyes on Yuri and Natsuki. Oh, there's the argument. They gingerly exchange sheets of paper, sharing their respective poems. As I watch, Natsuki breezes through Yuri's poems, her eyes skipping over the words. Meanwhile, Yuri stares at the paper in hand, smiling sadly. Natsuki quickly hands Yuri her poem back.
Here, I'm done. Already? Yeah, it's not like it was super hard to read. I'm not illiterate, you know.
Huh? It's hard for me to understand, at least. Because I'm stupid.
I just wanted to make sure that you caught all the figurative language that I employed.
Yeah, I did. It was fancy.
Thanks. However, I believe that you might enjoy it more if you look deeper into it.
I enjoyed it plenty already. Anyway, are you finishing my poem then?
Yes, yours is cute.
Cute? How can it be cute? You're standing there thinking that I haven't read your poem when it's really you who hasn't read my poem. It's clearly about the push and pull between giving up and trying hard.
I know that. I just meant the language, I guess.
Well, maybe you should look deeper into my poem, because I can use that type of language on purpose.
I see. But if I may give you a suggestion, these more involved subject matters may be better suited to more complex diction. The art of poetry is deeply intertwined with...
Look, I know what you're trying to do, but it won't work on me.
I'm sorry, but I don't quite understand.
Writing in this way doesn't make you look cool or smart, okay? It just makes you look super pretentious. If you write with a thesaurus open next to you, you're just going to alienate everyone. Using all these big words to make up for a lack of depth. I'm sorry, writing with a thesaurus next to you. That's kind of funny. Okay. Poetry isn't about impressing people. So you can just stop. Holy crap. I stare wide-eyed at Monika and Sayori, who have now also fallen silent. They stare back at me, looking unsure of what to do. I'm guessing that they don't usually have many arguments in the club. Although tensions between Natsuki and Yuri have already seemed kind of high.
Lack of depth?
Yeah, that's right. So if I can give some suggestions now...
Excuse me. I appreciate the offer, but I really must ask. What makes you believe that I'll accept your advice after you've been so rude to me?
Huh? Rude? That was just blunt honesty.
Do you ever consider that other people don't hold the same opinions as you?
What are you trying to say?
Do I really need to spell it out for you?
Yeah, you do. I want to see if you're really going there.
The irony.
I dare you to say it. Yuri gives a small laugh of disbelief.
I must thank you, Natsuki. I've never been this angry in my life. It's actually given me the courage to speak up. Is this why you're angry all the time?
Guys, we shouldn't. This doesn't involve you.
Sayori, please don't rob me of my moment.
So this is your moment to shine or something? Strange thing to take pride in, don't you think?
No. It's my moment to finally speak my mind. While I still have the strength to. Yuri? Natsuki, you ever realize how selfish you are?
Suddenly, Yuri seems to be overpowering everyone else in the room.
What? Everything always needs to go your way. You always jump to conclusions and make rash decisions without regard for the consequences. And it's never your fault, is it?
You don't know me.
No. You don't know me either. And yet you spoke as if you know everything about me. Quite simply, you don't. The very fact you don't think your blunt honesty was incredibly rude just goes to show how narrow-minded you truly are.
Seizing her moment, Yuri boldly carries on, disdain dripping from each word.
I know it must be a difficult concept for you to understand, but the whole world doesn't revolve around you and your manga. So tell me, why should I take advice from someone who can only see their own perspective? Everyone knows it. Monika, Sayori, even Zero. Don't you dare remember how hostile you were to Zero when you first joined us? I wasn't being hostile. We haven't had a new member in a long time. There was only 4 of us. It was a small group. Sorry, not sorry for keeping on my toes. Yuri closes her eyes and shakes her head, carrying on as if she didn't hear the outburst. The rest of us are just excited to have a new member, but did that thought ever cross your mind? No, you just let your own selfish thoughts dictate your behavior. Selfish? They weren't You could have scared them off. That might have been what you wanted, but what about the rest of us? I just explained myself, for God's sakes. As per usual, you aren't listening. You know, for someone who's been ranting on about how narrow-minded I am, you're pretty intolerant yourself. There, I used the big word. Do I sound like Shakespeare yet? Am I worthy of your attention now? Ouch. Both girls really have their claws out. Also, Monika and Sayori didn't have any issue with me yesterday. It's just you. Of course they did, Natsuki. They just didn't say anything. Monika's too responsible and Sayori's too kind. So why don't we ask Zero then, as the more unbiased spectator? Please don't ask me. Fine. Zero, who's right, me or Yuri? Oh, how did I get dragged into this in the first place? Not like I'm a good judge of writing quality, given I'm just a beginner. I don't think it would be fair to me to take either side either, especially since I'm new here. I should defer to one of the club leaders. Of course, that's going to be... Oh, okay, so you can't even choose them. I like that option. Sayori or Monika. Sayori's my friend, but Monika's the leader. But Monika said she was bad at breaking it up before. Maybe Monika can break it up this time. I believe in you, Monika. Get in there. I honestly don't know what to do in this situation. I quickly glance over to Monika. Monika nods at me and approaches the 2 girls. Yuri, Natsuki, this is... She clears her throat. Is it just me, or did her confident persona seem to waver a bit? This is no way to act in our club. I can't even do Monika's voice right now, because something is in my freaking eye! Monika does seem sort of disoriented. She's probably not used to such confrontation. You're kind of setting a bad example. Zero's probably really uncomfortable. Not to mention, there's really no reason for this argument to be happening. But Monika... No, I can't have this in the club. Are you kidding me? Don't you see how Yuri's treating me? She's being a massive jerk right now. There's so much reason for this argument. Excuse me, Natsuki, but it's actually your own toxic behavior that led to this. Yuri really emphasized that toxic bit. Toxic behavior? What are you talking about? Are you even listening to yourself? This is exactly why no one wants to be your... Oh shit. Enough! Monika seems to have gotten over herself and now looks livid. You guys are supposed to be friends, aren't you? It's so foolish how you 2 are acting. Don't you have any consideration for the other club members? You're even making Zero uncomfortable. I didn't mean to make him feel that way. And don't forget Sayori. She always acts in everyone's best interests. Will you 2 act like this? I wasn't trying to do anything either. I'm just being honest. Yuri is... Let me finish, Natsuki. I would ask you to please reconsider the way you're treating one another. You guys are obviously talented with your writing skills. You both have unique aspects to your writing styles. That's what makes you guys special. To be fair, I'm obviously not good with handling situations like this, but... There's a sudden pause for a minute. I decided to break the silence. I agree with Monika. Fighting will only cause separation, and to be honest, I really like it here, and I believe it if there's resentment in it. I really like it here, and I believe if there's resentment, it just won't be the same. God damn, I can't speak. Both the girls are speechless. Yuri is the first to speak. I'm just going to make tea. Asuka remains silent and takes a seat, only to stare into nothingness. I slide next to Sayori. Man, see why she's president. Yeah, she's pretty great. Monika seems like such a genuine, sweet girl. Hopefully I'll be able to properly get to know her during the school year. Okay, everyone. It's just about time for us to leave. How'd you all feel about sharing poems? It was a lot of fun. Some moments were worth it. It was alright. Well, mostly. Zero, how about you? I actually quite enjoyed myself. Seems like I do like expressing myself through poetry a lot more than I thought. Everyone looks intently at me. The girl's smiling at me. It was really cool getting to see everyone's different writing styles. That's awesome. In that case, we'll do the same thing tomorrow. And hopefully you learn something from us too. So your poems will turn out even better. I think to myself a bit as I begin to pack up. Today I managed to learn a little bit more about the kinds of poems that everyone likes. If any luck, I'll be able to learn more about the girls as individuals through their themes and messages. I nod to myself, turning to Sayori. Hey Sayori, ready to walk home? Sure! Okay, see you guys tomorrow then. As we leave the clubroom, Sayori turns back and waves at the girls. I do the same. Natsuki's acting like she doesn't care, as usual. Yuri awkwardly smiles and nods. And as expected from the school idol, Monika gives a friendly smile and waves back. Okay. Oh shit. We're stopping it here. I don't even want to go through this because this has been a 40-minute episode. My god. Because I wanted to at least get through a majority of the day. I didn't just want to end it after the poems, and then we'll have like 2 days and a half for the next episode. Hopefully this still gets a lot of views, because I mean, I don't know who's going to sit here through 40 minutes. Unless you do, and if you did sit through an entire 40 minutes, bravo. But if you did skip some of the shit, I don't blame you. It's an entire 40-minute fucking video. But anyway, that is it for this episode, guys. I'm liking the mod. It's pretty fun. I like that how the argument was treated. You don't have to pick a side. You have to pick either Monika or Sayori to break it up. I like that. But yeah, because both were technically in the wrong, which I always agree with. Both Yuri and Natsuki are both in the wrong in the arguments. But yeah. Anyway, that's the end of this episode, guys. I'll see you later. This is Zero. Peace.